Pleasant good day to everyone. Hope all's well. And we're ready to continue with our Lunch and Learn series as we go week to week on Tuesday, actually, from 12 noon to around 12:45, a session, during your lunch break. It's always great to keep on learning. And I love to say learning on the go, right? Learning from wherever you are, whether in your car, whether last week we said whether we had persons, they were at the airport, wherever you are, you can log in to us to listen to hopefully a topic that is of interest to you. So welcome again to everyone. Today, what we are about to share, and of course, hear different points from you if you'd like, the topic of data analytics, with Microsoft Excel, a very interesting tool. I'm Shivani Sinarain, for those of us who don't know me, and welcome again. So this is the third Lunch and Learn session with the topic data analytics. Of course, we have many different topics week to week. However, this is the third data analytics. So I'm seeing a couple familiar names in the session already. So we've done quite a lot of work with data analytics. We ran a number of training sessions actually with data analytics using the tool Microsoft Excel. So we're going to continue to show Microsoft Excel again through data analytics, but with one aspect, as we add week to week with learning something new, right? With learning something new. So welcome to everyone. So I'm just going to share my screen with a couple of points. Yes, good day to everybody. Welcome. So I hope you all are seeing the screen with data analytics. Tell me if you're not. Romario, are you? Yes, hi, seeing great. Thank you, Vintra. So some of us would know this already, but let's make sure. What are we going to show? Of course, we are showing data analysis with Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft Excel is the tool that could assist us with this very popular term now, data analysis. Now, there are different tools that could help us to do data analysis. There's Power BI, there's Tableau. There are different tools. However, the majority of us would have Microsoft Excel on our laptops, on our desktops. We have the Excel. And how could it be used, for data analysis? I want to start the conversation for those of us who don't know what data analytics is, to explain really via definition of what it is. Data is the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. That's what we have to do. Sometimes you have a lot. I came out of a conversation of a meeting recently, just before I came into this session. And this is something that we keep hearing all about. We have data. How are we going to analyze that data? Or nobody is analyzing the data in order to make effective decisions. So this is something that we must always understand, whatever business that you are in. If you are in manufacturing, you're in sales, you're in training, you're in education, whatever business it is to make revenue, if it is a revenue generation business that you are in, the majority of us would be working in one like that. And you need to analyze the data to make better decisions. So we're looking for a tool. And I'm sharing that you could use it with Excel, right? Of course, there are different tools that we also use. So what exactly is data analytics? It is the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. Many of the techniques and processes have been automated into mechanical processes that work over raw data for human consumption. So you must have the data, obviously, to analyze. Now, I love in project management, as most of you all who know me, that's my specialty, project management, and of course, using these different tools to assist PM. However, what you must note always is that you need to have the data properly. You have to have the data somewhere, which is known as data gathering. And then when you have data gathering, you do data analysis. Then after data analysis, you do data representation, and then you make a proper decision. But it all starts with having the data to analyze. And the data must be clean, the data must be structured, right? Before you could actually get to making any decision. So this is what data analytics is all about. What are some of the tools that could help us? Because that's what you want to talk. In addition to a broad range of mathematical and statistical approaches to crunching numbers, data has rapidly evolved into many technological capabilities. Today, data analysts have a broad range of software tools to help acquire data, store information, process the data, and report findings. Data analytics has always had loose ties to spreadsheets and Microsoft Excel. Now data analysts also could interact with raw programming languages to transform and manipulate databases. You have a lot of Python. Yes, Python are often utilized. You have more specific tools like R for more statistical analysis, graphical modeling. There are lots of tools. However, our nice Microsoft Excel that all of us would know, you could do statistical analysis with it. You could do regression analysis, correlation analysis. There's the data there, and Excel is an excellent tool to do these things also. Data analysts also have help when reporting or communicating findings. Both Tableau and Power BI are data visualization and analysis tools to compile information, perform the analysis step, distribute results via dashboards and reports. Because think about it, you know, when we keep hearing the word data analyst, data analyst, data analytics, what is it going to do? What really does it do? You have to present the data, or present, I should say, the conclusions of the findings in the form of reports. Now, when you show me a report and I have to make a decision on it, it must make quick sense to me. I can't be looking for the data and then have to call you and say, but what you're trying to tell me here? No. And this is our role now as data analysts or data specialty, you know, once you specialize in with data. And Excel, again, can do it very well. We're hearing this all the time, and as in any tool, as in anything, I love to have structure, right? I want to have this structured way in order to make this decision. And when I'm talking the structured way, you have to understand what are the different types of data analytics. You have descriptive. What is descriptive? This describes what has happened over a given period of time. Have the number of views gone up? Are sales stronger this month than last? And majority of times, that's what you will show, you know, that's descriptive analytics. And we're doing that pretty well. Then you have diagnostic. This focuses on why something happened. Why did it happen? This involves more diverse data inputs and a bit of, you know, hypnosis. Did the weather affect their sales? Did that latest marketing campaign impact sales? Making a diagnosis. Then you have point number 3, which is predictive. This moves to what is likely going to happen in the near term. What happened to sales the last time we had a hot summer? How many weather models predict a hot summer this year? Prescriptive. Then you have prescriptive. It suggests a course of action. If the likelihood of a hot summer is measured as an average of these 5 weather models is above 58%, we should add an evening shift to the brewery and rent an additional tank to increase output. So, you know, when you are looking at a tool and you're looking at Excel and you don't know what to do and what tool, a lot of times persons purchase tools for your organization, and we don't use the tool to the capacity that it can be used. And I'm saying any tool that I purchase, any tool that I purchase, it must fall under these 4 brackets here, these 4 codes: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. That's what we must look at. What are the key takeaways from the word data analytics before I demonstrate something in Excel, one of the tools that I find it's very, very useful? Key takeaways: data analytics is the science, right, of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about the information, which we showed this. It helps a business optimize its performance, perform more efficiently, maximize profit, and make more strategically guided decisions. The techniques and processes of data analytics have been automated into mechanical processes and algorithms that work over raw data for human consumption. Various approaches include looking at what happened, which is descriptive. That's what I want you to know. Looking at what happened, which is descriptive. Why something happened, which is diagnostic. What is going to happen, which is predictive. Or what should be done next, which is prescriptive. I'm pausing for a second here because you're asking yourself, do you really do this, right? Do you see this? Some of us already, you know some of the literature in data analytics, and you're really looking at now, what step are we part of? Are we doing descriptive, which is why something happened when you have that data? I think we're pretty okay in that. Diagnostic, are you asking these questions, what is going to happen? Yeah, which is the predictive, or what should be done next, which is the prescriptive. Descriptive, diagnostic, and then you have predictive and prescriptive. So when you have the data, this is the type of questions you're asking. This is the type of questions. What should be done next? Data analytics relies on a variety of software tools, ranging from spreadsheets, data visualization, and reporting tools, data mining programs, or open source languages for the greatest data manipulation. Great. So I just want to make sure that you all are ready with me and just ask the question in terms of the 4 types of analytics. Anybody would like to say what they are? I have it on the screen, so I'm just asking you all to repeat it to make sure you're with me. So my question is, what are the 4 types of analytics? Could you just say it over? Anyone? Who's going to do it? Vindra, Romano, Rhonda, Timothy? Anyone? Who's going to do it? Who's going to say it over? Just to repeat it, actually.
Good on you.
Nadine, thank you. Yeah.
Hi, descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive, and prescriptive.
Great, great. So you're hearing me loud, right? Because I heard you a little soft.
I'm hearing you loud.
Right, good. I hear you a little better. So right, great. So you have descriptive, you have diagnostic, you have predictive, and you have prescriptive. So, you have data, and this is an excellent way to start the conversation in whichever business that you are in. A lot of persons come to me and, we look at how we could use this for their small businesses and entrepreneurs. We work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and you don't want to have expensive tools, especially if you're a startup company and, startup businesses like that. But you want to know how your business going. You want to know what to do next. So we use this, we use a descriptive, we build a little spreadsheet and we show descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and then prescriptive. And then what are we going to do next? And then some entrepreneurs, we move on as they get larger in their particular industry, we move on to purchase some other tools. But what I'm trying to say is that you could do it, you have a strategy. The strategy is follow this, follow what? Why did it happen? Descriptive, what happened, why, what is going to happen, and what should be done next. And I feel, Nadine, that to me is lacking, you know, what should be done next? What should you do next? What, you know, do we have that somehow? What is going to happen? But we don't have the plan for what should be done next. And that's analytics, huh? And that's making proper decisions. So I'm just going to open up Excel now. Yes, so Timothy said diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. And you missed out one, which is what? Diagnostic. Great. Yes, and if you're in project management, you could use this in project, you use this in interpreter, you use this in any field because you need data. So I'm going to just introduce one because we wouldn't have a lot of time to do in 45 minutes or an hour, a lot more. I know people go into their work, going back into their normal work, but we'll continue and learn a lot more as we move with week to week. Let me just stop sharing and now just open back Excel. Let me get back Excel. Great. Are you seeing an Excel spreadsheet?
Yes.
Great. Right, Lionel, thank you. I want to show us how to build this. So let me just delete this and then do something else. This is a table with some data. I want to build a table and show you a quick little technique here. Where's my delete? Let me just delete this. Great. Lionel, you've seen an Excel spreadsheet, right? Oh. Rhonda, you've seen it? Nadine?
I'm seeing it.
Great, and I'm building things,
it.
right? I'm adding things. I just want to make sure you all are seeing that I'm building. Right, so I'm creating a simple table here. Right, that's what I'm trying to do, to create a table. Great. So I'm just creating a few pieces of data here. January, Feb, and March 2021. Right. First name, Shivani CEO. Right. Good. Great. January 2021. This is some sales or something that I'm just going to put things here. Let's see how it goes. Right. Then you have great finance. Put in again. What did I put here? Not March. Okay, so a date is coming up here. So I'll just change it to normal because I wanted general here, right? So if that came up, I'm just ensuring, for those of us who don't know what I just did, format cells, general, right? Click format cells, general. I'm just putting in some, right? And Lionel. Good. Let me put one more, which is Shivani, Tom, Nadine. Nadine. Department engineering. Good. Great. So we go again. So I have this. And you know what I really want to do? I really want to convert this into a table viewer. Yeah. So here's a very quick way to do it. And let me undo it, right? So these are just some tables, some data that I have just created here that you've seen me created. And all I want now to do is to put this in a table, make it look a little fancy as in a table setting. All to do now, I'm just going to, this is a shortcut. I'm clicking on Control from my keyboard and Control and T. And when I do Control and T, I would see where's the data for your table, and I'm just highlighting it. That's all I'm doing. I'm highlighting it and I'm clicking OK. Bam, it came in the form of a table. Great. So Control and T, everyone, is a shortcut that you could just click on, bam, and you get your table view. Of course, now you're going to get table design. And when you get table design, you could change up and make it fancy. Remember, this is data that you may want to submit and print to make some kind of decision. So I'm just saying, you know, Control T, put it in a nice table looking design. I could go to table design now and actually change the design that I want. I could do all of that. Now, you know, something I also want to look at on the table design menu. So when I click on table design menu, I'm seeing now.
Just to make a comment, Vindra.
Yeah, Vindra.
The table is showing up a little bit small. Can you zoom in, please? To the table
sure,
itself.
Let me do that.
Beyond the 100.
Oh, I'm now hearing your voice. Good. I now
Yeah.
seeing what you type. Tell me when to stop. Zooming in. Tell me. It's coming in?
Yeah, it's zooming up.
Great, good. So
Thank
everybody's seeing it. Good. Thank you. Right. So stop me, you know, just get in the convo. Come on. Thanks, Vindra. Next point is, so Vindra, what did we just show here? Right? What we trying to do? Tell me.
We
didn't see it.
converted the normal table that we normally have in Excel to
A fancy looking
more
table.
fancy looking table using Control and T, I believe it was.
Yeah,
We get
Control
some,
and T. Of course, you
alternating
have it on the
colors.
menu that you could do, but I show a shortcut, right? Control and T. And then there was something else. What we did again, besides that, it was something else. Control and T and what?
I probably missed that part. I'm not trying to get your attention.
Great. Table design, right? Under table design, I can fancy up anything right here.
Right, that's how we get the alternating rows.
Yes.
The colors, yes.
Colors,
Table design,
yeah. Under table design. So I'll leave it in a nice orange, right? Next one, under table design, let me select again. Table design, I'm clicking on table design to make sure that I am selecting that menu, right? And when I click on the table design, I'm seeing the word, you know what, table name here. So I could name the table and I could say Vindra. The name of the table is Vindra table, right? Always good to name your tables. Or there was a name in it, right? So good. So I've named the table. That was just to show you could name the table. That was all, right? That you could name your table. So I've named the table, you know, I'm going to make a little few mistakes in it to show you could correct it with something else. I'm going to say Nadine is in common age. Right. Now you have this data, right? So this is just some basic data that I'm showing here. You have first name, last name, department, January. No, well, something went wrong. Yeah, sorry, January 21, 22, 23. I have some names, I have some positions, and I have some columns. So let's say, you know, you have 100 pieces of data because this is nothing to make adjustments to, but majority of us will be working with loads of data. And you made some errors. You type type common letters when you want to type capital letters, etc., etc. What you have to do, go back and select, and we say, no, you have a nice tool that is known as Power Query that I'll show. Power Query that could really do a lot of work for us and help us. What is the purpose really of Power Query, Vindra? Power Query is a tool in Microsoft Excel that allows me to get better structured data. Because if you all throw back your minds at the beginning of this conversation, we said that data needs to be structured, in order for us to analyze it. Because and this is where you have data gathering and you have to do data cleanup before you go and you analyze anything. The point that I'm trying to make is garbage in, garbage out. I'm sure those of us who have been in previous Lunch and Learn, that's what you'll hear me continuously saying, that garbage in, garbage out. Your way of thinking. So when you're talking data analytics for me and in our conversations or anywhere, talk it in this way, speak it in this way really, which is you have those 4 types of data analytics that we keep showing in all the Lunch and Learn and the courses that we run, which are descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. And then use something else. The other 4 areas, which are you have to do data gathering, data analysis, data representation, and then decision making. So you want to make decisions, Lionel, and you can't make decisions because you don't have the data. And then you may say, but Vindra, you'll say, well, look, I have the data. But, before you could analyze it to make a decision, you have to clean up the data. You have to clean up the data. That's why we're saying you have to have a certain skill. You have to have patience in this kind of job. Huh? And I'm sure you know that. If you don't have patience, you have to build the patience to do this. Great. So I'm going to introduce the term which is known as power pivot, right? Power pivot. Sorry, not power pivot. We mightn't have time to do the power pivot in this session, but we're going to do the power query. So the purpose, yeah, Vindra?
No, I was just saying it's power query.
Power query. Yeah. And what do you understand the power query to be? It's really, firstly, is to try to clean up your data, right? To really present more structured data to help make better decisions. And that's what you always have to remember, that what aspect of Excel, if I'm using Excel or whether I'm using Power BI or whatever I'm using, what aspect am I using to help me now to get structured data to make better decisions? And, I was telling you all at the beginning of the session that this is something supposed to be very easy, right? With decision making. But if you don't have the data or you don't know the proper system to do it, you're going to make very wrong decisions or you're going to be inadequate. And we don't want to do that. We want to learn the thing. Great. So how do we do this power query? So I'm clicking on my menu data. That's what I have to do. I'm clicking on my menu data and I go now to get data. Get data. I click on the drop down. Right, now I'm just showing you all this here where you can go to data, get data. You have it from a database. You may have it from other sources. And we'll do other sessions on this, but you could have it in SharePoint, those of us who have data in different areas. But that's a little more technical and probably not for this session right now. But I could have the data stored in different areas, huh? And I'll be able to pull it. That's all we are saying, that you are able to pull it. Because again, you may be in an organization and you're in one department and the data is stored somewhere else in another department on a server, in Microsoft Exchange, in Active Directory, and you have all these different things. You're just able to pull it. But you know what? I'm just going to pull it from the table that I've created, right? And majority of you, that's what you may be doing. You're just pulling it from the actual Excel spreadsheet that you've just created. But I want you to know that you could have it in different ways, right? So I'm going to, what did I do? I went to menu data. I clicked on the drop down arrow by get data. And now from other sources, and I'm just saying from table and range. Right, from table range. What table? Well, the table is in front of me that I have to highlight. Huh? No, I want to highlight it properly. Let me highlight this properly. Okay, I have to do it over. I go to what we said, data. I go to get data from file, from, not file, what we said, other sources, table range. And now I'm going to highlight it. So you see what I'm doing? I'm actually highlighting it. And I'm clicking on OK. Right, it cannot overlap another table. I had another table, good. Let me see. So I'm going back to get data. I have another table overlapping. A table can't overlap another table. Let me see why. Data. Probably have something else open up. Good, it's coming up now. Yeah, but it's only coming up with one. Something else was open up. Let me get it back. Discard, right? Data, get data. Seem to have a lot of things open up. Let me see why it's not coming up. Vindra, would you be able to share your screen in the meantime? Would you be able to, for me?
No, I'm on the mobile right now.
Okay, anyone? Anyone can share their screen and I'll help you to type. Let me just make sure. We have to close it off and open it back. Nadine, what about you?
Give me 1 minute, sir.
All right, tell me when you're ready. Let me just make sure if mine is coming up properly. Good, don't worry, mine came up. I closed off something. Thank you. In the meantime, and you'll do it after, don't worry. Nadine, thanks a lot. Right, so indeed I'm seeing something now. All I did, how did I get this up? Now I have to see if this one could open up a little higher. Okay, I don't think I could open this up. All right, but how did I do this now, Vindra? What did I do to get this?
We went to data, get data from other sources, table range, and selected the data, the table that we created.
And selected, exactly, right? Great. And this came up in Power Query. Now I want to know, what could I do with this? What could I really do with your senior name and everything appearing here, Vindra, because that's the name of the table. So what could I really do? Well, let me see. I'm highlighting this column, right? And I'm going to right click. Okay, highlighting it, and I'm going to click transform on top. See the word transform on the menu, yeah. And I can see a lot of things with this data now. I could actually, where I have the word Hussein in common letters, I want to really put it, anything that I have in common, I want to say capitalize it. Right, so let me do it over. Right, so it's coming up here. What am I seeing? Add custom columns. No, I don't want to do that. So I went to transpose.
Oh, Shivani, Just
Mhm.
a comment again. It could be me alone, but I'm not seeing anything changing in the Power Query window as you're moving through.
No, I ain't doing
Everything else,
anything, nothing happening.
okay, yeah. Yeah, because everything looked like it was just as you opened it before. Because like when you moved to the transform ribbon, we didn't see anything change. At least I didn't. I think Nadine asking the same thing.
So you're not seeing my screen as being column 1, column 2, and it looking
Yeah,
a little
seeing
different
that.
to you?
Yeah, seeing that, but I didn't see anything change since that.
No, but you're
I
seeing a
seen
smaller
column 1.
screen, right?
Yeah, with column 1, column 2, column 3, 4, 5, 6, and well, first name Shivani, Tom, Lionel, Nadine, and
Mhm.
query settings on the right side. That's what I'm
Okay.
seeing.
Right. Anything change right now when I hit the word transpose?
No, nothing changing.
Okay. All right. So Nadine, you said you're going to help me, right? The type?
I'm not seeing anything actually.
No, on your screen, would you be able to?
Yes, hold on.
Right. Tell me when you're ready to share your screen and I'll tell you what to type and go through it with you. Let me see in the meantime why my screen is not coming up properly. Tell me when you're ready. Allowing you to share. Great, thank you, great. So you're in Excel, step by step, right? Right, so you're adding there under A, so you're just doing 3 columns. A, Shivani Singh, right? Sorry, first name, last name, first name, last name. Great, department. March 2021. June 2021. And July 2021. Right, just writing 3 names. Department, any department you want. You can make up anything. All right, just put 4 figures there. All right, good. So all we want to do now is to hit Control T from your keyboard. Click OK. Came up in a table, right? We're leaving it like that. Now we are going to data. Tell me if you see in data on the menu. Great. And you are seeing get external data. You could click on that. From other sources. We will repeat it, so don't worry. So you're seeing from other sources. Tell me if you're seeing from a table range there. No, it's not there coming up as table range for me. Right. It's everybody's using probably a different version. You're seeing the word from table. I'm seeing it on the screen. Right, just yeah, sorry. Go back to data and you're seeing the word from table. Yeah, go around, go more. More to your right. Yeah, from table. Good. So highlight. You highlighted it, right? Good. Click OK. Yeah, but you have nothing overlapping. Click OK again. No table has headers. Click no table has headers. right? So you highlighted it already. And you went back to data. Let's try one time again. From table. It's not coming up as if something is behind the thing. We have the table. What is a new sheet? Why are you saying that for, Nadine? You have a new sheet open up? Nadine?
Sorry, no, I meant it's an Excel document, a new Excel document I opened up, so it should not have anything in the background.
Yeah. From other sources, check and see if there's anything from other sources underneath there. When you see other sources, because you're supposed to have the table / range there. This is a table, that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get the proper table there. And we're not getting the table, recent sources. Click on where you see new query. Click on from other sources, okay, from workbook. So before you click on that, tell me if you've seen it from other sources. Because all I'm looking for is the table that you have typed up there. Right, so something else we went to from file. If it is a file, save this file, save it. Right, and then close it off and let's see. Like open back a new sheet then. Could go to a new sheet. And see why it's not coming up. Let me check mine by the time you're doing yours. Your screen is on? I took it off. Right, good. And you're bringing it back up. Good, let's see. What you did? Right, great. Okay, so we could use no, this is just the table form. All right, just X off for me, Nadine, 1 sec. And let's just do it over. Go back to data. Right, and you go in from source, right, from the file. So you click file. There's a workbook that you had. Okay, click from workbook. Where is it? Click open and open it up. Import it. Whichever one it is, and you just open it up. Yeah, open, load. Right, I mean, it's the same file now, data. From table. Right, it's coming up now. Right, so you're seeing this. You're seeing first name, last name, department, March 2021, June 21, July 21. Seeing it right, Nadine, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Right, great. So what we are trying to explain, everybody, is the Power Query. Now, what you just did, Nadine, was save it as a file and then you brought it in, right? But however, it is going to work. It does work. We're just typing it right there and just using data and from the table range. Good. So you could practice it over those two ways, but it's just making sure that you have the data now to manipulate it. So what do I really want to do in here? I want to transform. Now, if you look on the right-hand side, you're going to see something known as applied steps. You see it? Applied steps on the right, below where you see source and you see change name. Great. It's just going to tell you different things that you can do. Right. So what I want us to do, click on last name. Right. And you say transform on top, click transform. Good. Now you could use the word, don't click on it, but you could use the word transpose, reverse rows, count rows. You could actually transpose. So let's try transpose and see something. Transpose. Yeah. All different things coming up there, right? Mightn't be making any sense. So if you go back to the right-hand side where you see applied now table, applied steps, and what you last did was transpose table, right click on it and delete it. Delete. And it goes back to the original stuff, right? Now you have last name highlighted. Let's click now on right click, that is, let's right click on last name. Great. And you are seeing things that you could do, right? You could say rename, split column, change type. Go to the word transform for me though, transform. And you see in uppercase. I want uppercase. I want to click uppercase. Click uppercase. Great. So what I'm trying to say is that you could do structured data using Power Query in this way. Let's click on highlight for me now, first name and last name. Highlight first name and last name, those two columns. And I'm going to merge these two columns now needed. I'm going to merge it. How am I going to merge it? What is the purpose of merging it? I want to just have Nadine Hussein in one row. On the right hand side, on the top, you see the word merge columns. Click merge columns. Separator, click on the drop down where you see none. Click the word separate, comma. Let's say comma. Just to see something coming up. Click OK. You notice you get a comma coming up there. Vindra, you seen it?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Great. So you get in a comma. That's with merge. Now, if you didn't have Power Query, you could have done this in about two different ways using functions. There's concatenate and there is text merge. So there are different ways that you could have done that, right? Text join, sorry. However, very easy, Power Query. Now, the purpose of Power Query is trying to do what we refer to as structured data, structuring the data to make better sense out of it. So uppercase, look, you could have done uppercase just now, just quickly there. Now, this on the right-hand side, I'm showing that you could have the word applied steps, applied steps. Now, we're going to change this thing up a little bit with the March 2021, June 2021, and February, and see a different way to present this data. So you've highlighted first name and last name, correct? Yes, those, what you highlighted. Oh, okay, remove that, remove it. Let me see something here. Great. So I'm keeping those two things highlight. I'm right clicking now. And I'm seeing the word unpivot other columns. Let's see what happens there. Unpivot other columns. What happens? Tell me what is happening here, what you're seeing. When you unpivot other columns, you see Nadine Hussein. Now you are seeing what? March 21, June 21, July 21, those were the sales 456, 896, 1223. And then you see Vindra, all the dates and all the money that we made that Vindra sold. And then you have Shivani, and you are seeing in human resources, I am in there. And guess what? This is the amount of money that I made. So again, in Power Query, I could unpivot different columns and actually now change around how I want the data to be viewed. So Vindra, just repeat what we did here. What was the purpose of this, please?
Which part in particular, the unpivoted?
Yes, unpivot.
Yeah, we highlighted the first name and last name. We right clicked. I can't remember which option we went to, but then we went to on pivot. Yes, on pivot
On
other
pivot columns. Other
Correct.
columns.
On
Other
pivot other
columns, huh?
column. Yeah, on pivot other columns. And well, we separated we restructured the data we originally had. So now we have the names duplicated, but we have the data for the department and sales now side by side with our original data.
Great. Now look at something here. You are seeing the word attribute. Now here's what I will put with attribute. I'm going to click on, so really and truly, let me unpivot other columns. Delete it for me, please. Great. And let me highlight those three columns, which is first name, last name, and department. Great. Right click, unpivot other columns. Yeah. So you realize what I had Nadine, what we did. We kept those three columns now. We kept the three columns and we just unpivot the other two columns alone. So you are seeing attribute and you are seeing value. Makes sense, right? Good. One thing again, where you see the word attribute, click on that and see. Let's check, change something. Let's write date. Double click and see if you could write in the word date. Enter. Good. Click on the drop down. Let's see. Okay, that's a filter, sorry. On the left of the word date, are you seeing anything there? Yeah, a little icon. Yeah, click on that. Right, and you are seeing date. Come down to date. Yeah, click. See how we can change it up a little bit. Click again on the left-hand side, see if you can change anything. Seeing date, time / time zone. Yeah. Yeah, replace. Good. And you realize you are building your data. You are building your data with doing something referred to as structured data. Structured data. Clear, everyone? So what are your key takeaways for today's session so far, right? Thus far, what are your key takeaways, Timothy, Shivana? What are your key takeaways? Shivana, key takeaways. Anyone? Timothy? Yeah? Romario? You telling us?
Hi. Yes.
Hi, yeah, Shivana.
Our key takeaway is that we can utilize Excel as a data analytics tool to change unstructured data into structured data so that we can do further analysis.
Good. Unstructured data to structure it a little bit to work better.
Yeah.
Right. And the tool is, of course, that we are showing is Microsoft Excel, you're right. And what were the tools? What aspect of the tool you learned?
We use the Power Queries.
Power Query. We use the Power Query.
Yeah. And we also change data into a table format.
Right. So you learn a lot, I hope, right? Data you structured from a Power Query, which is the purpose of using the Power Query in a nutshell was to have better structured data, where we could have done something known as unpivot other columns. And the next nice technique that I liked was you could transpose And you could actually do uppercase and lowercase. You could change it up to what different words that you want.
And you
So
can also
thanks for that.
you can also merge columns as well.
You could merge the columns. So if somebody asks you what is the purpose of Power Query is helping you to structure the data properly. Power Query is helping you to structure the data. It is part of your data analytical capabilities. Nadine, anything you would like to say? Vindra, I know you all were very participative in the exercise. Anything? Vindra, Nadine?
One other thing I remember when we had these little challenges at the start is we learned that you could import from the table range inside a worksheet, and you could also import from a workbook separately when to build the query to pull your data.
Excellent. Excellent. Nadine, anything?
I actually learned a lot, especially what's using Power Query. And I think it helped me a little more by actually going through the
Doing
exercise.
it.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm glad that you volunteered by force. So thank you for doing that. Great. So your key takeaways this is the third lunch and learn. I know some of you were in the first lunch and learn with the data analytics. We did conditional formatting. We did many different power tools. I like to say is power tools in using Excel for data analytics, right? But today's session, we are really adding to the pool of knowledge by adding a term, Power Query. And keep in mind, there are 4 types of analytics, any conversation you have in: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. And my key learnings from all of this, I always like people to take with you. We need to do prescriptive better. We need to do prescriptive better. When we have the structured data, obviously you have to say what to do next. And if you think about it, it's really an organizational and a world and everything, you know. This is why we have so many issues. We stop to a point. We don't say what to do next, you know, what to do next. So thank you, everyone. I had a great time. I hope you all had a great time learning on the go, learning during lunchtime. And I hope to see you all next week, Tuesday, where I'll introduce a topic. Some of us may know it: artificial intelligence with Microsoft Excel. It's wonderful. It's easy. It's nice. It's like, wow, that's AI. Wow. Romario, you have a question? You had your
No
hand up.
questions. I was just saying thanks for the class.
Great. So I also hope to see you all next week. You'll see it and you can register again for it on artificial intelligence with Microsoft Excel. Some very simple steps in it. It's like, wow, okay. And I also hope to see you in the data analytic class at the end of the month, right? Thank you, everybody. All the best until next week, Tuesday. Thanks again.
Thanks. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye, Vindra.